people said, this city is going to come back, and people willed it back, and we're back.
10 years ago, the housing market in New Orleans looked pretty bleak. Hurricane Katrina destroyed about 70% of homes all across the metro area, sending more than half the people in New Orleans alone to other cities. Well, today, it is a different picture.
And as anchor Randy Russo tells us, the demand for houses has sent prices surging, but there are still some neighborhoods waiting for people to come back.
Hey, my man.
After growing up in Chalmette, Timothy Clements now calls Lakeview, New Orleans home.
I think it was a very appealing community. It's close to the lake. It had a great school, and the people that came back immediately are the ones that wanted to be here.
Clements says he made his move at just the right time, buying a lot here several years after Hurricane Katrina for $45,000. A price now extinct in this neighborhood, with most lots in Lakeview selling anywhere from $125,000 to $200,000 because of the high demand.
I never felt like it was not coming back. Right. You know, I always felt like it was going to grow, and I didn't realize how fast it would out here.
There are many programs born out of the storm, like Road Home and the New Orleans Redevelopment Authority, to help homeowners secure lots and homes at relatively cheap prices. Another catalyst to redevelopment was the Soft Second program, a grant opportunity spearheaded by Mtumishi St. Julian and the Finance Authority of New Orleans that offered new buyers up to $65,000.
HUD first looked at us and said, what? And we said we had to stimulate an economy. We had to excite the marketplace, to let people know that this was an opportunity to bring New Orleans back, to get people to invest in our neighborhoods, and it worked.
It worked so well that the demand for homes in these once flooded areas has surged. From 2007 to 2011, it was a buyer's market across the greater New Orleans area, according to the University of New Orleans Latter & Blum real estate forecast. Today, it's a seller's market, with the average price of homes up 7.5% in just the past 5 years. And the number of unit sales is up 79%. This current housing market mimics the same trend the area saw in 2001 and 2002.
Huge bulk of the people who are interested in coming here are moving here. They're not local people. And right now, we really don't have enough homes for sale in Orleans Parish.
Places like Gentilly, Lakeview, and historic areas of New Orleans fall into that category, and the price of real estate there has become unattainable for most. Even neighborhoods like the Bywater, Marigny, and Treme have surged, pricing people out who once lived there. However, there are still gaps in neighborhoods like New Orleans East and the 9th Ward, where home buyers can still find an affordable house.
Those two are really the areas that still have opportunity. The rest of the areas is just finding a lot.
And most realtors are projecting prices to continue climbing. As for Clements, he admits if he was looking for a home now, it would be tough to find one in his price range. But he is proud he contributed to the growth after Katrina, and now gets to watch his own family grow in the Crescent City.
I couldn't have made a better decision. I can't imagine living anywhere else other than the city of New Orleans.
On your side, I'm Randy Russo, WDSU News.
It's not just home prices on the rise. Rent is up as well, according to the data center. When it comes to renting in New Orleans, people are paying 33% more for a one-bedroom apartment now than before Katrina, and 42% more for a two-bedroom apartment.
The average one-bedroom rental will run you $925 versus a little less than $700 more than 10 years ago. Those rates mean that those renting in New Orleans, more than 1/3, are now spending more than half of their monthly income on rent.
And this can be especially difficult since more than half of people living in New Orleans do rent their homes.